I hatched the idea for this video while I was talking to two of the higher up leadership in a sales company that I'm considering working for. I am considering doing another summer of door-to-door sales, and this idea that I'm about to share with you really applies to any sales, any kind of entrepreneurial venture. It really applies to life, and I think it's really important, and I want to share it with you, the viewer, whether you are one of my current subscribers or someone that is just finding this video. So the idea is pretty much that your life is a roller coaster. Obviously, we have all been through really good times, really bad times. We've been through meh times. I'm sure you're in one of these times right now. Personally, I'm in kind of an in-between time, and that's okay because before this time, I was in a really bad time, which usually means that if I was in a really bad time, now I'm in a meh time, I'm about to have a really good time in terms of what I achieve, how I feel, all of that stuff. And so this graph that I'm about to show you is really important for a few reasons. It highlights a lot of really important stuff, so let's just get into it. And this is going to be my makeshift whiteboard holder. Okay. So this is the roller coaster of life. And I'm talking about this mostly as it pertains to sales right now. And I'm going to go and explain it through that lens, but you can apply it to anything sales, entrepreneurial, or anything goal related. And so when you start out, you're starting out with uninformed optimism. So you don't know what you don't know, but you're really excited to start. A lot of guys are like this in sales because there's a lot of money in sales. And they get ahead of themselves. They think they're going to do X, Y, and Z, and they have no idea the difficulties or challenges they're going to face. And so they're uninformed and optimistic. So as you can see, it's a mountain right here, and this is how they feel. Now, obviously you can read everything I've written out, but I'm going to go through and explain anyways. After you go to the peak, you start to learn more, and it gets hard because now you're hitting some of the roadblocks you have to go through to learn and get better at whatever you're doing. And then they come into this valley, which is informed pessimism. Now they know what's hard. They know what they're going to have to go through. And they're pessimistic. They're like, I can't do this. It's too hard. I'm not smart enough. I'm not attractive enough. Blah, 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 whatever it is. This is how they feel. Now, as you can see, I've written what you can control on this flat line. And these guys brought this idea to me that, I already knew it, but they reminded me about it, and I had an insight of this, which I'm going to talk about right now. They were like, okay, you go through an uninformed optimism, informed pessimism, and then you get to informed optimism. You know more, you know what to look through, you know how to get to the challenges, get through them, and you start to know what you're doing, get better at what you're doing, and you start to go where you want to go. And I was like, well, this is your non-negotiables. So in the terms of door-to-door sales, how many doors am I knocking every day? How many no's am I getting past? How many smoke screens am I blowing through? How many objections am I throwing through the sales wheel and solving and moving on and closing? How many times am I closing? That's what you can control. And what I said to them was, and they really liked this actually, is when you're going through this roller coaster, you're going to go through it no matter what, and no matter who you are, no matter what you're doing, unless you've already been doing it for a long time. And in the door-to-door space, pretty much every week you're going to go through this. Well, like every first week of every summer, and then usually as you go on and you stick to your non-negotiables, you get through it, you just keep going. And I told them, if you're the straight line, you're fine. If you're the straight line, obviously you make it through uninformed optimism, you make it through informed pessimism, and you make it through informed optimism. Obviously, you can literally see drawn out the line here, which is your non-negotiables, your everyday, what I do, what's in my control, you go through it. And they really liked that, and I really liked that when I came up with it. And so I wanted to share it with you guys. I think it's really important, and for example, I'm going to come back to the camera now. Personally, with this channel, I've already been through this a little bit. Uninformed optimism. Whoa, I can start a YouTube, I can do all these things. Informed pessimism, there's like 40 million or 400 million, some crazy number of YouTube channels, and honestly, it's hard to keep a viewer's attention, it's hard to stand out, it's hard to make quality videos in terms of Like, obviously, there's people with better production than me. There's people who speak better than me. There's people who know more than me. There's people that are fitter than me. But I realized that even the people I liked watching, sometimes they weren't even fitter than me. Sometimes they weren't smarter than me. Sometimes they weren't more attractive than me. But they all had something to offer me. And so that's when I moved over to informed optimism. It's like, I do have something to offer people. And as long as I stick to my non-negotiables and I am the straight line, every day is the same. That line was straight. There was no roller coaster in that line. That needs to be your everyday. Every day I hit the gym. Every day I hit my run. Every day I upload my video. Every day I read my books. Boom, 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 boom. Straight line all the way through. And you're going to make it through all of the roller coasters. And in fact, there's a really good book back there I've read twice. I have it there so I can read it anytime. I am struggling. It's called Peaks and Valleys. It's a really good book, and it talks about the same thing, although not with the twist I applied to it, but it is that's not discounting it at all. I would actually read it if you liked this video at all, if you like the ideas, read Peaks. And you know what? I couldn't remember the author's name, so Spencer Johnson, Peaks and Valleys. If you want to watch or read that after you watch this, I strongly encourage it. But I wanted to share that with you guys because I internalized it when I thought of it and realized that it was true. And I feel like at least one person will watch this and realize its truth and apply it and get comfort from knowing if you just stay the straight line and you put in the work, put in the effort, you will get to where you want to go. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one.